Welcome back everyone. In the last video, I discussed that provider container is the vault that stores all your data and provider scope is the Flutter widget that makes that vault accessible to your entire app. We also said that a provider is like a locker inside the vault. Each locker holds one thing. In this video, we actually create our first locker. We write our first provider, put something in it and read it in a widget. So what exactly is a provider? A provider is a function whose result is cached and shared. Think back to the spreadsheet analogy from the first video. Imagine you have a cell in a spreadsheet that calculates something. Say the full name by combining first name and last name cells. That cell runs its formula once, catches the result, automatically recalculates when any dependency changes, shows the same result to everyone looking at that cell. A Riverpod provider works exactly the same way. You write a function, a Riverpod runs it once, catches the result and hands the same cached result to every widget that asks for it. The technical term for this is memoization, storing the result of a function so it does not need to run again unless something changes. Riverpod does this automatically. You just write the function. So the simplest provider is provider of type T. There are several types of providers in Riverpod and we will cover all of them across this series. But the most basic one is simply called provider of T. So provider of T is for values that don't change over time, don't need to be mutable, are just computed or returned once, like app name, base URL, a greeting message, utility class instance. In those cases, we can use this simplest type of provider, that is provider of T. Now, we write a provider like this. Here I have written final greeting provider equals to provider of string, ref, then return hello from Riverpod. That's it. This is a simple provider. Now, here I have written what is the functionality of or what is the meaning of each and everything. As you can see that final greeting provider, this one, this is the variable. This is the blueprint, that is the locker key. Provider of string, this is the type of the provider. Here it specifies that it holds a string value. Ref, this is the tool to interact with other providers. And this return hello from Riverpod, this is the value the provider holds. When any widget asks for greeting provider, Riverpod runs this function once, catches the result, that is hello from Riverpod, and returns it. Every widget that reads this provider gets the exact same string from cache. Now, where to declare the provider and why? Provider is declared outside any class at the top level of the file. This is intentional and very important. Provider declarations are always global. But as we discussed in the previous video, the global declaration does not mean global state. The declaration is just the blueprint, the locker key. The actual value lives inside the provider container. So, declaring it globally is completely safe. Why global? There are three reasons. The first reason is accessible from anywhere. Any widget, any other provider, any service in your app can access it just by referencing the variable. No need to pass it through constructor or find it in the widget tree. Reason 2 is compile safe because it is a Dart variable. The compiler knows about it. If the variable does not exist or the type is wrong, your code will not compile. Reason 3, testable. Because the state lives in the provider container, not in the global variable, each test creates its own container and gets a completely fresh isolated copy of the state. The global variable is just the key, and the same key opens different lockers in different containers. Now, what is the naming convention? Means whenever you are creating a provider, we follow a naming convention. What is the naming convention? By convention, every provider variable should end with provider. Okay, so whenever you are creating any provider, then create it like greeting provider, user provider, task list provider. So it should end with provider. That is the convention. Now, once we declare the provider or once we have written the provider, then we need to read it in the widget. Now, we need to read this provider in a widget, but here is the problem. A regular stateless widget has no way to access a Riverpod's provider container. It only has build context. This is where ConsumerWidget comes in. It is exactly like stateless widget, but with one addition. The build method receives a second argument called ref. This ConsumerWidget is provided by Flutter Riverpod. Let me show you. Here you can see this stateless widget, this build method, it takes only build context. But the ConsumerWidget, here the build method takes one more object, that is widget, ref, which is of type widget ref. The ref is your access point to every provider in your app. To read the provider and subscribe to its value, we use ref.watch. As you can see here, I have written final value equals to ref.watch greeting provider. What this does, this access or this reads the provider and it subscribes to it. Okay. So here I have written, this does two things: gets the current value of the provider, subscribes the widget to this provider. So if the value ever changes, the widget automatically rebuilds. Now, based on this, this is a complete example. If I can show you here in VS Code, see here I have created the provider globally, and after that in the main method we have provider scope, where I have passed this home screen. The home screen is extending ConsumerWidget instead of stateless widget, and this build method is taking one more object, that is a ref, which is of type widget ref. By using this ref, we can use watch method and we can read the provider which we have created. So whatever value we have read, that is stored in greeting, and this greeting is printed inside this text widget. If I run this, then you will see the message hello from Riverpod, which is written from the provider which we have created in the output. So this is a complete example. Now let me discuss what is happening here step by step. See, the app starts, the provider scope creates the provider container. Home screen builds, ref.watch of greeting provider is called. Riverpod checks the container. Does greeting provider have a cached value yet? No. First time. So Riverpod runs the function and returns hello from Riverpod. The result is cached inside the container. Ref.watch returns hello from Riverpod. The widget displays it. If another widget somewhere else in the app also reads greeting provider, step 4 is skipped. Or here you can see that this is step D, this will be skipped. Riverpod just returns the cached value immediately. The function never runs second time. Next we have computed provider. A provider can also compute its value based on something else. Say you have an app name and you want to create a welcome message from it. For example, here you can see that here we have created a provider, app name provider, which is returning task manager, and another provider has been created, welcome message provider. What it is doing, it is using ref.watch, it is reading app name provider, and after that it is returning welcome to, and after that the app name. Welcome message provider depends on app name provider. If the app name provider's value ever changed, Riverpod would automatically recompute welcome message provider and notifies all the widget watching it. This is the reactive caching that we have discussed in the very first video. Providers watching providers, automatic recomputation. I will discuss more about this in the upcoming videos. For now, if you notice how clean it is, no stream controller, no change notifier, no set state, simple a function. Now let me discuss something about a ref. You noticed a ref appearing in two places, inside the provider function and inside the consumer.build. Here you can see that here we have used ref and we have used ref here also. Now both are tools to interact with the other providers, but they are slightly different types. Inside the provider function, it's a ref, but inside a widget builds method, it is a widget ref. Both let you read providers. Widget ref has some additional widget specific capabilities. I will discuss more about ref in the upcoming video, because ref has three different methods like watch, read and listen, and I will discuss each and everything as I will proceed in the series. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.